Hello everybody. As a little treat for Godzilla Rampage 2011, today I'm going to be showing you all my Godzilla collection in my room. Essentially, anything that's Godzilla related in my room is part of this big whole collection. Not only just action figures like those over there, but also plush dolls and paintings, fan art. So I'm going to be taking you all across my room to look at anything that's Godzilla related. Now, you may notice that there are a lot of slides of paper across my room. That's because I put them over faces of me and members of my family to make sure that our privacy is kept online. So don't want to show anybody's face online. So we're going to start off with this desk here, which has the Atari 2600. This is a Biollante plush. I don't think this plush is in stock anymore on Amazon, but this is a cool plush. I like the fangs that are included here, and the pink eyes, and this little orange thing over there. I guess it's supposed to be like its heart or something, but sad that they couldn't put the little teeth and the lips on the end of her Venus flytrap tentacles, but her arms are pretty flexible. You can put them in any position you want. So there's Biollante. Now here's fan art. Also over there is a little souvenir from New York. It's a little King Kong on an Empire State Building. This is fan art from Godzilla Fest 2010. It's made by Frank. Can't read his last name, and I wouldn't want to mispronounce it, but Frank, you did a great job on this Mothra painting. It looks awesome. This should be the model for Mothra if New Line Cinema makes a sequel to their new Godzilla movie, or if Toho makes another, because this is a very impressive fan art of Mothra. Good job. And also, Frank made another more fan art. It's not Godzilla, but it's Gamera. It's Daiei's main rival to Godzilla. There it is, Gamera the Invincible, made by the same person. So there it is. Also, I'm going to put my hand over the camera to make sure none of you see my face in the mirror. So this is another piece of fan art. It's the Millennium version of Godzilla. It's pretty cool, actually. It's pretty cool. Everybody who made all this fan art, they did great jobs, and this is one of my most prized possessions in the entire collection because this was autographed by one of the actors that starred in the original Godzilla. I'm dead serious. One of the actors signed this from the original Godzilla. See over there? To me. Bet this signature, I bet, is gold. Like, this is one of the most prized, like, this is a once-in-a-lifetime deal. So there it is. Also, up here, in front of the Spider-Man picture, I have a plush Godzilla 1954 and a plush Ebra. Being little, I couldn't find an action figure of Ebra online, but I'll settle with this plush. This is a pretty cute plush. It's pretty good. And also for this 1954 Godzilla, look what happens when you press his chest. I don't usually touch a lot of my Godzilla figures or plushes because I want them to stay in as good shape as possible, but I'll show you all anyway. That's definitely not the Godzilla 1954 roar. I know that. It's a little too quick, and the original Gojira roar is like a longer, rougher roar. So that's the Godzilla 1954 plush and Ebra plush. Up here is Batra, a plush Batra, made by the same company that made those the plush Ebras over there and the plush Biollante over there. So that's a pretty good plush and a pretty good monster also, Mothra's evil twin. So this is the cabinet with the Godzilla Fest action figures here, so I gotta take this stuff off. And here they are. These are some of the most rare action figures I have in my room. None of these, only a few of these I think occur in America as American releases. Some by Bandai. Was the most expensive. This Titanus action figure was $75, but he's well detailed, as you can see there. Made almost exactly like in Terror of Mechagodzilla. I also like the shine in this action figure. It's very well done. Also, they're all in front of these Ray Harryhausen models, like the Centaur, Shiva, Talos, and the Golden Calf from the Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. So, here's the 1968 to 1972 version of Godzilla, from Destroy All Monsters to Versus Gigan. Well done. I don't pull the tags off any of these action figures because the tags also make them more valuable. The novelty just will never wear off on these things. Here's a good Mechagodzilla, but I kind of find it funny that this Mechagodzilla has two metal prongs on the top of his head when in the original Mechagodzilla just had this one big prong. So there's Mechagodzilla. This is, oh, by the way, this Final Wars Anguirus and Final Wars Rodan are both in America. They're sold by Bandai. They're Bandai releases, but these are the Japanese versions, which makes these action figures even more valuable. So there's Anguirus and Rodan. Now, for this Godzilla 2000, as a kid, I always wanted a Godzilla 2000 action figure in my room, but I had a lot of Millennium action figures, but Godzilla 2000, I think, was the best redesign of the new Godzilla, because look at those long, jagged scales, and they're purple. That's pretty good, and his green skin, too. So, yeah, also look at that. Over there is the original art for Godzilla 2000, Gojira 2000. That's a pretty good action figure. Also like how long his tail is. Now here's a mini Godzilla 1955 from Godzilla Raids Again. You could tell it's from Godzilla Raids Again because it's It's in black and white. It's slimmer than the original Gojira model, and it has those two teeth. Look over there, those two tiny teeth that stick out. Godzilla looks like a vampire. But please, Godzilla, don't become Edward Cullen. We could go without that. Okay, here's Desatoroya. Yes, I also say it like that. Desatoroya. The painting is well done on this version of Desatoroya. The horn, the frills, the wings. Also like his tail. His tail's pretty long. His arms, the spikes leading to his toes. Yeah, this is an impressive Desatoroya. So that's all of the G-Fest action figures in my cabinet. Now we're getting into some more common ones. Here are two Mogiras. The funny story about these two, the reason I have two is that when I was a kid, I lost one Mogira. I lost one more Mogira, and then my mom ordered me another, but when the other Mogira was on his way to my house, I found my other Mogira. He was right below the bed where I slept, so that's a pretty embarrassing story. So now I have two Mogiras. Don't see any difference, actually, in the painting or the design. It's kind of like the annoying orange. Hey, I see you, me. You're not me. I'm me. So there are the two Mogiras. For this Mothra Bandai figure, I think the art made it clear that it's supposed to be the Mothra from Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All of Attack, but I think this is actually the model of a Mothra from the Mothra Reborn trilogy. I haven't seen the the Rebirth. I haven't seen the Rebirth of Mothra trilogy, but this one looks like it's from Rebirth. So there it is. Here's one from Japan. When my dad was on vacation, he got me this great souvenir. This is the box for a Godzilla model from the original Gojira when he makes his first appearance. And there's the actual model over there. So this is another cool box. Also has even more figures on the it has more advertisement for more figures on the side. I apologize for forgetting this one, everybody. This is another piece of fan art from G-Fest 2010. It's based off the original Gojira, with Godzilla at the climax of his second rampage on Tokyo, which is probably the best rampage of any monster in cinematic history. a great job on this one. It looks scary, it looks dark, and it was made on November 3rd, 2008, the 54th birthday of Godzilla. And that makes sense. Gojira was made in 1954, and this was made on the 54th birthday of Godzilla. So this is a pretty good piece of fan art. Now we're getting into the center of these whole Godzilla action figures, where a lot of them are just condensed on the top of this shelf. So I'm going to go from top to bottom. There's Godzilla 2004, aka Final Wars Godzilla. You can get him as a Bandai release here in America. Space Godzilla by Bandai. This Final Wars Gigan is pretty impressive. Look at the art on this one. That's a good Gigan. Now over here is, that Godzilla over there is one of the oldest Godzilla figures I have, period. I mean, I had this when I was 5, when I was getting into Godzilla with Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, and this Godzilla is old and outdated compared to the more recent figures, but this one has such huge nostalgia. There's no way I can keep this out. There's no way I can keep this out of my collection. It's great. Here's a rare one, Godzilla 1962, found this one on eBay. His tail's a little short, but then again, it's not like the figure is exactly the same in King Kong versus... Sorry, I'm shaking this camera all over the place. But it's not exactly, his model is exactly the same in King Kong versus Godzilla. I like that silver area on his chest. There's Mechagodzilla 2. There's Mechagodzilla 2, great figure. These two Mothras are part of a Tokyo SOS set. They're the two Mothra larvae. One has larvae, however I say it. One has their mouth closed, the other has it open. Now these minis, except for this Super X3, which is also part of the Tokyo SOS set, all of these minis are from a Bandai little pack. There's a mini Godzilla 1995 from Godzilla vs. Destroyer, when he's about to explode into a nuclear explosion. Minya, or Manila. I say Manila. Oh, see my face. There's the 1950... there's the 1954 Godzilla mini. There's the second form of... Well, I call it the second one because it's first... Technically, it's its second because at the beginning of the movie, you see it as like this little Precambrian organism. But here's the second form of Destroyer. Here's Mini Gigan. It's weird. I think all these minis are supposed to be like minis of these large Bandai figures, like these two over here. But then again, Showa Gigan's arms are arranged in a way that you can't arrange the big Gigans. So there he is. The final form of Destroyer, Mogira, Mothra from the 1992 movie Godzilla and Mothra, The Battle for Earth, but in Japan it's called Godzilla vs. Mothra. It's really a remake. And in Japan they call Godzilla vs. Mothra, Mothra vs. Godzilla. It's the American version, which is called Mothra vs. Godzilla. There's Manda, the only Manda figure I have. And here's the model that was in that box. It even has this little tab here. This is well crafted. It's all black and white. I also love the detail on this one. For this one, this is the 2001 King Ghidorah from Giant Monsters All Out Attack. I think this is the best model of King Ghidorah because it's more of a Chinese dragon-esque figure for all these heads, and those two fangs really just add a fine touch. Also, this one I think is a much more interesting gold. But I'm not saying the one over there is bad. I just like this one a teensy tiny bit better. Its wings are well done too. Also, kind of funny, this three-headed dragon is in front of a two-headed dragon over there. Yeah, I got that at the National Art Museum. It looks like Smaug from The Hobbit if he had two heads. Here are two minis, Megalon and Batra over here, Megalon Batra, but you probably can't see it too well in the zoom up, but Megalon's eyes are slanted. It looks like he's depressed. I mean, Megalon looks depressed out of his mind when I see him with those eyes. Here's a Showa version of Gigan, not as impressive as the redesign, but I still like the Showa Gigan. Here's the 1954 Godzilla over there. Also, this plush in particular is good, except for, is well done, except for one thing: the face. His eyes are way too small, and look at that. Look at those teeth. I mean, it's like the teeth are on his lip, not in his mouth. I mean, isn't that ridiculously similar to a piranha's mouth? I mean, look at that. Looks exactly like a piranha. There's Mothra next to Batra. It's like perfect yin and yang. This one's also part of the mini set from this one. I just put it here to be next to Batra. Mothra, which is from the 2003 Tokyo SOS set with those two. Bandai, 2001 Godzilla. Here's Kiryu, which is again from the Tokyo SOS set. And the final part of the Tokyo SOS set is this Godzilla 2003 model. But one thing I noticed about his chest, what's with his chest? What is that red thing over there? I guess it's supposed to be like his veins are bigger and you can see them, but it looks like he has a face hugger from Alien on his chest. There's the High C model of King Ghidorah, a very impressive remodel of King Ghidorah. Here's Mini Kiryu. He actually has the guns, but sadly I lost one of the guns over there on his left arm. And they're all in front of this Sinbad, the Sinbad dragon from the Seven Voyages. They're all in front of there. Now for the final part, which is, did I miss anything? No, I don't think so. Okay, so now for the final part, which is this plush Mothra made by the same people who made that plush Batra and those plush Godzilla 1954 and Eberas. It's made by the same. It's made by the same people. It's made by the same company who did those plushes. But what's funny is that she always falls down because I'm running out of room, so I just see her to put her on top of this chair. But every time she just falls down. And what's really weird, out of my entire Godzilla collection, this Mothra plush was the only one to fall. I'm not joking. This Mothra plush was the only one that fell. So it's like a force field. A miracle was protecting my Godzilla collection, except for Mothra. What did Mothra plush ever do to not get protected? So now we're going to finish off with here the Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, and Giant Monsters All-Out Attack Crumble Zone set. The Crumble Zone set is supposed to be a set of Tokyo from the 2001 movie in which you can use 4 monsters in here to knock down all the buildings which you have to set up. So you have all these pieces, like here, there's Ghidorah, there's the Big G himself, Mothra, 2001, and Baragon. Baragon finally gets a big part in a big movie. And here are all the pieces. Okay, nostalgia time. Time to bring this city to life. Excuse me, I have to be a kid again. Gotta get this thing to stay up. Yeah, there we go. Save us!
Ah, here comes Mothra!
We all wish we could be kids forever, don't we?